Hey guys, welcome to the first video blog of this sort and format. Yeah, thanks for taking up the time of your day to watch this. And yeah, so welcome back. I haven't actually been online really sharing anything in any sort of shape other than on the socials for the last few months. And yeah, that was soon after I, announced that I'll be doing those newsletters and all those things with the website and so forth. And then life just happened. And that's exactly what I want to talk about actually today. And, sort of welcome you back into the conversation that has been a little bit stagnant over the last 2 weeks about how everything has its time. And saying that not only as a cliche, but really going into it from an Ayurvedic point of view and coming back to the natural circadian rhythms and nature's cycles that really show that everything does have its time in terms of different energies and frequencies going on at different times, causing you to feel up for or not up for certain things and feeling differently at different stages, not only in your life, but also in your year and within your day. And so I just want to dive into these seasons with that a little bit. I don't know how many of you have heard of Ayurveda so far or before. So Ayurveda is a ancient nature science, basically. Originated in India over 5,000 years ago. It's still practiced up to this day as one of their primary medical systems, and it works on natural prevention as opposed to looking at things when they've already occurred. So it really works with lifestyle and dietary changes in order for you to stay in a state of balance according to the circadian rhythms and the 5 elements of nature. And it really translates into every aspect of your life. So I'll be bringing this into the equation as I'll be sharing more via video blogs weekly now, which I'll be sending you right to your inbox if you subscribe to my newsletter. And so I just want to share my personal view and opinion and I guess transition through life according to all those beautiful principles, those ancient systems like yoga and Ayurveda, as well as modern science, and how to adapt it all into our daily life. But yeah, back to the subject as for how everything has its time. So according to Ayurveda, the whole universe, internally and externally, meaning within our bodies and in all our surroundings, is made of the 5 elements, which are water, fire, earth, air, and ether. Ether is space. And they're not necessarily the physical appearances of those elements. It's not fire as in the flame and water as in the ocean, but it's more so the energetic qualities of those elements. However, these 5 elements are put or combined differently into 3 different doshas. Dosha is another Sanskrit word, which is the yoga language and the sacred old language originated in India as well. Ayurveda is a word deriving from this language as well. Well, in fact, being a Sanskrit word. But Ayu means life and Veda means science. So it's the science of life or the knowledge of life. So the doshas are it's hard to translate any Sanskrit word by word into English language because, as a matter of fact, they actually do have double the amount of letters in the alphabet than we do. But anyways, before I drift off with all this, because this whole field of Ayurveda is just so expansive and is really taking up all different aspects of our life, I just want to focus on the basics according to the seasons right now. So in order to do that properly, you need to understand what the 3 doshas are. So 3 doshas are the body, mind constitutions, are the different constitutions that we find within ourselves, but also around us and in nature. So they are made of those 5 elements. And according to Ayurveda, every season, every time, every situation is dosha specific. And it's not just important to know our specific own dosha, it's like a personality test in a different way, which we're going to dive into at a different time. But there's also different doshas predominantly around us at different times. So when we're talking about seasons and how everything has its time, we've just moved from, and really quickly, like since I last was in conversation with you, it was early autumn, and now we're almost through winter. So we have transitioned from autumn, which is the Vata season, Vata dosha, which is basically wind made of air and space, and ether. Um, it is the windy season, quite obviously. If you look around us, you have the storms coming in, the winds coming in. You tend to, everything is sort of rough, cold, changeable, mobile, or those windy, airy qualities. That's what we see being dominant in nature around us in autumn. And this reflects our internal state as well, because autumn is the time where all this movement, like vata literally means that which moves, if we translate it. And there's all this movement going on around us, in terms of the weather, the storms, everything I just mentioned, the winds. But that reflects on our internal realms as well. Ayurveda says that the human body, or we as human beings, are a microcosm within a macrocosm, which means how above, so below, how within, so without, and vice versa. So what's going on around us is also, it's just a mirror of what's reflecting within us, or what's going on within us as well. And so in this Vata season, we all tend to, it's the time of harvest, while we harvest from the seeds we've sown, and we start to reflect back. So it's really a reflection time. It's a time of shedding, of circulating energy, of sort of digging deep and letting go of stuff and so forth. So quite often it can be a bit of an unsettling time where you feel in between spaces, or when new things, opportunities, new points, beliefs come in, while we're contemplating of letting go of the old ones. We're in those in between places of reflection and renewal. So from this season, from this Vata season, the movement and wind season, we've already moved deeply into winter, and we're almost coming out of the other end, out of it at the other end. And winter season is Kapha season. So Kapha dosha is earth, predominantly the earth element combined with water. It's predominantly earth, and Kapha translated means that which holds. So if you look at what's going on in winter, especially down here, down south at the moment, but I'm sure in any other part of the world, you will see this reflection of the earth element in different ways. It's cold, it's damp, it's heavy, it's all those very dense, structural, heavy, grounded things. And if you look at these are the exact qualities of earth. If you look at it's slow, it's dense, it's dull, it's grounded and grounding. So these are all things we experience in winter as well. You see it in the weather around you, in countries where it gets snow, especially. It's dense, cold, heavy, drizzling down, compacting the earth. But again, it's also a reflection of what's going on predominantly within us internally at this time of the year, when we are surrounded by those kind of energies and frequencies. And that we all tend to move further inward. We go inward to, again, reflect, but to just nurture ourselves in a different way than we do in summer. So that can be through, if you look at what foods you naturally crave, they're nourishing, grounding, warm foods, like, hot in temperature, sometimes in spice, teas, soups, stews, all those things that are countering the cold with heat. And also behavior-wise, mind and emotional state-wise, it's, yes, where we do turn inward, where we ground internally, where we do all those rather subtle creative yin things, like read our books, do creative arts in front of the fireplace, like hang out indoors doing slow grounding nurturing things, as opposed to summer, for example, where it's the time to be extrovert and out there and socialize and dance and run around in bikinis and enjoy the heat and cool down. Winter is all about gathering in front of warm fire and being rather introverted and getting this introspection into ourselves, nurturing, in order for us to then in spring sow the new seeds, as opposed to going all in like in summer. So which brings me back to, that's an explanation based on Ayurveda, for how everything has its time. And yeah, so there's different times for everything. And that's what I've just experienced in the last few months. Like when I, in autumn, after having pushed through summer with those frequencies, very extroverted, very go-getting, the fire is going. Summer pitta season is that which transforms. Pitta is predominantly made of the fire element. So that's the season where we are, passionate, driven, so motivated. So going and getting things done, ticking off the list, just driving through. And autumn is where we slowly start to slow down and reflect. And then now in winter where we have this introspection and nurture and go inwards and sort of replenish and refuel again for the spring and then the summer to come. So life and state of mind and emotion is very seasonal like that. And so that's why, you might feel like things are coming in waves and like ebb and flow of activity and passivity, and everything is this balance of both, of yin and yang. And yeah, after the last summer, I was, putting it all out there, wanting to be busy and getting all those things done right away because I was still on my summer flow. And then out of the sudden, life just happened. Like autumn is a very transitory season. I personally always say that autumn and spring aren't exactly seasons, they're more the transitions in between summer and winter. And so it seemed like my life became very transitory throughout autumn as well. We had lots and lots of things happening, with me leaving the country to work out some visa things, with my partner not having an accident and not being able to work for months now, and just all those difficulties and all those little detours coming our way that really forced me to, all right, slow down, put your plans on hold, go with the flow, go with what you need to do right now, which I really didn't expect to be coming up. And then, reflect, go inwards, start new. Just reflect on things and start potentially where you left them off, but potentially you're also taking those things back up. And that's what I did. And I realized that I actually do want to do certain things in a completely different way and take them from a completely different angle. And that's so beautiful about moving through seasons and surrendering to those circadian rhythms and to those different seasons and their energies and qualities as well, because it just allows you to get more into your tap into your creative flow, instead of sort of adapting too drastically to this rigidity of our society of, you have your list fully planned out for the year and get things done as you plan to have them done, and you have your 5-year plan and everything is structurally going chronologically in order. And then really life does happen and things do come in between, and it's so important to just surrender to that flow, because there is a reason for why things happen when they're happening. And so I just wanted to really get onto that and sort of spark this idea of a natural flow and nature's own agenda according to the elements that are surrounding us at certain times, as opposed to us running just on our busy schedules that we have sort of inflicted and put onto ourselves due to our 21st century lifestyle of go go go, achieve, be busy, be successful, have the biggest tick-off lists and so forth. Just a gentle reminder of that there is a place and a time for everything. And I'm a high pitta person. Like, I'm very fiery, very driven, very motivated. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, crap, I thought this day had 35 hours instead of 24. What has happened? And I got so many things on my list I still want to get done, and they haven't been done because the day has been too short. And now I'm finally at this point where I can actually surrender to that and be like, no, hang on. So it's not time that's the problem. It's you who's the problem. It's you who's always trying to push too much, go too hard, get too much done, and then diffuse my energy in too short amounts of times, instead of surrendering to the natural flow. And if I don't get something done, I actually come to the realization, well, I wasn't actually meant to get it done right now, because otherwise I would have gotten it done. If that makes any sense. And it's not coming, it's always a small line in between procrastination or surrendering to natural flow and doing things when you're supposed to be doing them. Quite often I find, I wanted to push myself to do certain things. For example, this newsletter I was going to start months ago now. That was in May, where I was going to send out an email with some sort of holistic health advice once a week. And and out of the sudden, life just happened very hectically, and I just had to leave things and ended up not doing them. And I kept beating myself up about it for weeks and weeks. It's like I was meant to be here and there doing this and that, being this far on my agenda. It's not happening. And then I just wasn't in the right space to do it. And it took me a few more weeks to actually surrender to, okay, cool, it's not the time. You obviously weren't meant to do it right now the way you thought you're going to do it at that time. And now I'm slowly coming out of the other end of this whole process I've been going through of, going introspective and reflecting on things, on my plans and my goals and my visions. I'm like, you know what? Actually, my weekly format I want to present is going to be this and that. So I'm going to continue on with those video blogs. And get so many other amazing, exciting ideas to come for my website, for the business, for things to share with you guys, everything holistic health and Ayurveda and how to bring it into your modern lifestyle. And these are just all the sparks in my head of ideas that I didn't actually have a few months ago when I first was going to start to share. When I was like, yeah, cool, I'm going to do newsletters. That's what it is. And I thought that was the non plus ultra, and then it didn't work out, and I started beating myself up. And now that I actually surrender to this natural flow of autumn frequencies, things coming in that I didn't expect, life happening, me surrendering, riding this wave of life to now having been introverted for a few weeks, really nurtured and refueled myself in winter, I surrendered to what my body and myself and my soul and my mind needed in order to fill my cup again. And out of the sudden, I'm trying to pick things back up where I left them a few months ago, and I got those way more amazing ideas, like way more aligned things that are out there for me and waiting to be put into creation that I didn't see months ago when I initially wanted to do them. So that's just a little sort of personal insight from my end of, that yes, everything does have its time. And this whole concept of Ayurveda, it's really something I'm living by on a daily basis, and I keep having new realizations through, just like right now, I put the camera on and keep talking and all those things keep coming. I'm like, oh yeah, so that's actually what's going on. So it's not just like I'm telling you something, I'm actually processing it right now in my own head. But so yeah, I'm looking forward to connecting more with you about it and having this conversation about, everything holistic health, body, mind, spirit, Ayurveda. And this was just a gentle first touch for those of you who haven't worked with me before. I haven't heard much from me in this kind of direction. So I'm gonna just as intuitively as things keep coming up through and I'm going through life, I'm going to be sharing with you guys in this format some Ayurvedic concepts, how to bring more spirituality and holistic and conscious ways of living and ancient systems and concepts like yoga and Ayurveda into your daily life to really assist you in our 21st century Western white societies, saying that without judgment, but that's the way it is. We are, especially in the millennial generations these days, we are living completely different lives than our parents might have, or generations 30, 40, 50, 100 years ago. And there's just beautiful, beautiful ways of, there's so much wisdom that has existed, like Ayurveda is 5,000 years ago, and it's still so relevant and so applicable for us these days, just in different ways. And I just can't wait to share more with you guys how to really adapt this ancient, incredible knowledge to our new age lifestyle in order for us to thrive more and be our happiest and healthiest and most balanced and grounded and most successful selves. So yeah, thank you so much for taking out your time today to listen to this little spill. And it'll come in video format, but you don't actually need to see me talking, so you can listen to this while you drive or do things, whatever, like a little podcast. And I'd be really honored if you joined me along on these journeys once a week and give me some feedback, input. If you get any specific questions, do reach out, send me an email, leave a comment, whatever, and I can go and sort of get deeper into them, talk about them in the following vlogs. Alrighty, beautiful people. I hope you're having an incredible rest of your week. Perhaps there's a couple of things you can think about for yourself that you're grateful for, and a few things that you're looking forward to today and this week. And I'm looking forward to talking to you soon again. Ciao for now.